break this.
Hey, welcome to the B Type Omnibus build from MiniArt. Yeah. How are you, John?
Good. Got some stuff done around the house. Daughter's car serviced, other things. So, yeah, getting there.
Excellent. My allergies are playing up again. It's been a pain in the right.
Oh, there it is.
Pain in the nose, not a pain in the ass. But...
Yeah.
Sprayed all the bits for the steps over the weekend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And the wheel arches as well, actually.
Okay. I haven't done those yet.
Yeah. Yeah, sprayed all them, and I've varnished all my little people. All my little people.
No, I haven't done that yet either. However, we'll see. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is episode 21.
Yes, it is.
So do you think this could be the second last one?
I think so, probably.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Let's crack through the comments and get on with it then.
Yeah. Oh, God. Tiff says, "Good morning, folks. Hope all are well. Please don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. Thank you." That's really hard to do with a block nose.
JT says, "Hello, Mike and John. Looking forward to seeing the buses today. Hope you're both well today."
Thank you. Dave says, "Good morning, all. Morning, Tiff and JT." Oh, no, my nose.
Matthew's in. Hello, all. Looking forward to another episode of On the Buses.
Patrick says, "Good day, all."
Jim, hello to all on screen and in chat.
Hello, Jim. Adam says, "Morning, all."
Trevor says, "Hi, all."
And Matthew says, "Another day in the winter wonderland of Brum, -4 last night." Yeah.
Joe says, "What's up, all? Good to be here again."
Hey, Joe. There we go. That was quick.
Wow. Let's crack on then. Oh, he says, "Well, I hope Tiff's allergies go away." Oh, wait. Yeah.
Very good. Right.
All right.
Heavy.
Right. Okay, so my bus, as was, untouched from last week, except for last week I'd painted all these bits and bobs. So there we go. As you see it, the floor, stairs, the headlights were done a couple of weeks ago. They've just been sitting there. And these are the the route sort of placards for the top deck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and try to put all that together.
I think I'm going to put the decals on the... Hello. What are you doing on here? Hello. I think I'm going to put the decals on the seats and things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be wise today.
Okay.
I need to do a bit more detailing on the step part. The bottom deck.
Yeah.
For the step.
Get my instructions so they're not going to be in people's way and flaring the lens and whatnot. That'll do.
Yeah. Right. We've got some more comments. JT says, "I like the research you guys do on the models you build. Thinking of being a professional model builder. What is a good recommendation for it?" Not being one, I wouldn't know. No
idea. Yeah, you'd have to be good at it. Jim says, "Hello, Patrick, Joe, and JT." And JT says, "Hi, Jim." Okay. Alrighty, so lower deck. What I've done is when I painted this one red, I just put a bit of tape on it so I didn't spoil it. But yeah, it's worked out all right.
Yeah. Looks all right. Trevor's doing Bristol Bulldog today. D-scale.
Decals, maybe?
Decals,
Decals? Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's the new one or the last year's release? And is it indeed 48 or 72nd?
Because that is so last year.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to move that slightly. See how that goes. Oh, crikey. I want to get this together without breaking. It's getting very fragile now.
It's getting more fragile.
Well, yeah, every time I go to grab it, I just look at these top rails, they just snap off again.
Oh, yeah, I don't touch them. Trying to figure out where the bloody decal sheet is for the seats.
Oh, yeah, it's a small... Oh, yeah, second page. Turn the front page, and it's there.
Ah, thank you. Evening Standard. Get your Evening Standard. Oh, damn it. Adam said, oh, I need to order more brass wire, actually, for the Austin. Yeah, I've ordered a pack of 20 centimetre lengths, 0.3. Adam says, excited to give MiniArt a go. Yeah.
It's I think they're really nice fit. Yeah, I don't have too many sort of bad things to say about them. I think there's certainly good choices of builds. Like if they don't do it, nobody else does.
Yes.
Well, they do things like T56 tanks that they sell, but they have for a fairly unknown company. If you're just starting in modelling, you're going to go Airfix, Tamiya, Hasegawa, that sort of things. The ones that were there when you did it, probably back in the 80s, 90s, and whatnot. But MiniArt, all these newer ones, yeah, they have. This one has a lot larger range than you would expect of one you've possibly never heard of.
Yeah. Trevor says, I have both in 148.
Ah, very good.
Excellent.
All right.
Matthew says, I got discharged from physiotherapy yesterday, feeling a bit meh. So tidied my bench and now working on a bulldozer blade when I can find my pin vise. Ah.
Oh.
Apache says, the question is, have you forgotten to put part D31 on like I did? I don't know.
Well, it depends what that is.
I'm going to have my policeman sat on the front seat.
Yeah, mine will be at the rear of the top deck. D31.
Just because nobody likes the police.
Sorry, what was the number? D29, was it, or something else?
D31.
31. Not even sure what that is.
Yeah, he looks good sat there. So.
Ah, yes. So, yeah, he's referring to this bit at the back. Oh, I have... Oh, I'm getting weird picking it up. That one there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a step support.
Yeah, I've not put that on.
Oh. There we go.
Ooh. JT says, father-in-law remarked about how talented I am. Felt good hearing that huge compliment. Gave him a model locomotive we made a few years ago, and family loved it, seeming my happiest build lately. Nice.
Cool.
Adam says, plus the little stuff isn't too much of a worry. I done the Flyhawk Campbelltown in 1700 as my first PE kit because self-hatred.
Good reason as any.
And there you go. Patrick says it's the part the stairs fit into. Yeah, I've not done that yet. Glue. Duke says, "Good day, all you beautiful people. Working tonight again, painting 6mm Napoleonic figures again tonight. I did 120 Highlanders last night, artillery tonight. Bloody hell.
Wonderful.
Stick some glue up this copper's ass.
Governor. Oh, okay.
Can have him sat slightly side on. I think that looks better. He's not sticking. Yeah, he will. Just needs time. Needs to learn to be a bit more patient. And he can be sat there annoying the hell out of the driver, who's sat there thinking, why do I have to drive around with a copper next to me? It's so embarrassing.
I better stick to the speed limit.
Yeah. He could be taking his driving test. Yeah, I think that'll look good. Tell you what, I haven't primed that little bloody acetylene thing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't painted that yet. Whoops.
Do.
Oh. I know what I've got to put on the steering wheel.
Yeah. Done mine.
Oh, I had an email off Royal Mail at 5:30 this morning saying we have now we've received your parcel addressed to Bearded Veteran. All right, I haven't ordered anyone. I don't refer to myself as Bearded Veteran in the mail. I got a feeling it's Mystery Nick.
I have no idea. I had a message from Tim earlier today saying, "What address did you send the parcel to?" And I sent him back my reply, and I haven't heard back on not whether he had a porch pirate or whatever. Because I have sent him stuff to that address before, and of course he had received it.
Yes. That's not good.
Things like the Hummer.
Yeah. That's not good, and that'd be really annoying.
Yeah.
Especially for Tim.
Well, the fact is I could buy him another one and send it to him or get it from Frontline or whatever, but there's no guarantee that it won't happen again.
Well, exactly. Tweezers. JT says, "Hey Duke." Patrick says, "Hi Duke." Duke says, "Good day, JT and Patrick." Oh. What the hell? Go on, driver. Sit still. Sit still and grab hold of that steering wheel, buddy.
Yeah, it took me a while to get the driver and the wheel sort of sitting right.
Yeah.
Because I left the wheel off and just trying to stick it on top of the column.
Yeah.
With his hands gripping it, but I got there in the end. It took a while. Oh, these little handrails are so small.
Yeah. Duke says, "Patrick, getting ready for the warm next few days."
Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a heat wave in the East Coast Australia the next, say, 3 days or so, up to 40s and stuff.
So you'll probably start having your wildfire season again.
Oh, yeah. Broke a bit. Oh, well. We'll glue that later.
Hey, you're supposed to have your feet on the pedals, dude. What are you doing? You got a copper sat next to you. You can't be messing around.
He's all nervous.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember going to a family party with Kay's family.
Yeah.
And one of her cousins, he's a police officer. And he said, "Oh, I've had a few drinks, mate, so would you mind running me home?" I was like, "No, it's fine." I was like, "Oh, crap, I just remembered I didn't even bloody brakes doing on my car." So I was like, doing my best, like, brake as gently as possible, driving them home. He's too drunk to notice anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know with them lot. Joe says, "I think I'll throw out omnibus hints to the children, and maybe I'll get one for Father's Day. Yes, I will. They owe me. Haha." There you go. Driver's in.
Nice.
Steel wheels on a bit of a wonk, but there we go. There we go. So if I hold that very gingerly, there you go. Policeman and driver.
They do fit nicely.
Yeah. Julie says, swears vociferously at 3D printing software. Stuff it. Blood pressure climbing through the roof. Oh, don't do that. Julie says, afternoon all. Afternoon.
Hello. Alrighty. Ooh.
Patrick says, not looking forward to it, Duke, over 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Joe says, Julian's back. Yay. He says, not guilty regarding the parcel, would be addressed to Profane Mikey anyway, with return addressed to the heathen care of hell, aka South Wales. JT says, painted figures yesterday, not as detailed as yours. Lighting does make them look good. Wish I could make the touches you guys do. I paint the faces flesh and use charcoal to flatten the clothes out. Still do that detailed, I don't think.
No, but yeah, don't think I'm good at faces and figures. I am not.
Illusion. It's an illusion, buddy. The camera does wonders. Matthew says, my mate Nick used to do police Christmas discos. The traffic cops used to breathalyze each other to see who was able to drive the car. I remember being duty driver for the sergeants and warrants officers mess dinner, Christmas dinner. One year. And I was driving backwards and forwards all night in the unit Corsa, right? And I was getting tips every time I did drop-offs and things like that. It was great. And then when I finished at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I parked up, locked my car up, put the keys in the office, went got in my car, and then drove home. Got halfway home, and I see this police car turn off, turn round in a junction, and then wait for me to go past, and then come behind me. I was like, oh, for God's sake. So he's going up and down. He's going up and down behind me, trying to force me to do something stupid, but it didn't work. And then in the end, he pulled me over. And he went, what are you doing out this time of night? I went, I was duty driver for Sergeant's mess dinner. So I'm just going home now. He went, have you had anything to drink? And I went, well, about 4 or 5 cans of Coke. He went, no, I mean alcohol. And I went, as duty driver. Why would I be drinking if I'm duty driver? That doesn't make sense. So he said, have you got anyone that can back this up? And I went, well, you can ring McCorple if you want, but he won't be very happy. He said, why not? I said, because his guard commander only passed out drunk 2 hours ago. He's like, oh, well, we'll leave it there then. I was like, yeah. Like, yeah, just because I'm a young lad in a bloody course, you dickhead. Adam says, Mikey, was it Dungeons and Lasers you mentioned were good for minis? Yes. I like Dungeons and Lasers. They're the ones that made my dragons and the troll giant thing. The giant, Pepe the Giant. That's it. Sorry, nose is running.
That's fine. Do what you got to do.
It's better than having snot all down with jumper and beard, isn't it? Because that absolutely did not happen whilst I was out in the supermarket this morning. Julie says, Adam, Dungeons and Lasers link. There we go. And Adam says, awesome sauce. Merci bouquets. Jim says, Mikey, did the policeman that questioned you begin with, what's all this then? And he went, no, he started it with, what are you doing out at this time of night? I was like, I'm a fucking adult. What do you mean, what am I doing out at this time of night? Am I not allowed to be? About 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. JT says Timar is amazing at the figures he does. The work on those Warhammer figures is so detailed. I started to paint figures. A good first step. Next step will be over my head. Hello. Well, I've resolved that the only way I'm going to get better at figure painting is to paint figures. And then paint another one. And another. He also says, for most, being in over their head is bad. For my height, it's definitely bad. Okay. So I could probably get, before I glue these skummers on, I'll have to get the advertising on the inside bases, but we'll put the steps on. So let's lift this up.
Sorry, Kay came in to tell me about a phone call she had off the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Julie says, Adam, if you want dragons, double-click the dragons link on the left. Yes, they do lots of different characters. And they're all D&D compatible as well. D&D 5e compatible, rather. Adam says, perfect. Thank you, Julian. He's a good in his Jules. When he's not busy stealing souls and torturing people for all eternity. I like that. That looks good. Right. It actually looks quite nice without the steps on, but they'd have a hard job getting up to the top deck if they didn't have them. So.
I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a little brass horn. Toot toot.
Ooh. Matron.
JT says, John, can you name those stairs Fred Astaire? That shouldn't be as funny as it is. Right. Decals. Where are you, decals? Ah. There you are. There's one. Oh, cripes, these are small. Right, okay. JT says, and the terrible dad jokes start. Yes, we had noticed. Adam says, it's funny because I've never played the D&D or Warhammer, but the lore and other media they are in, yes, Total War 40k is coming, and I may not be seen until the Emperor steps up to the throne. Emperor steps off that throne. Yeah, I like playing D&D.
I've not done enough of it to really know one way or the other.
Yeah, I like it.
I've listened to a lot of it. I find I am labouring through a bit of Roll Britannia. There's just not much going on there, but yeah, I am. The new episode of Hello High Rollers came out the other day, and I was again laughing out loud. I listened to it twice. I'm still laughing.
June says, when not busy sending evil thoughts at an ambulance driver, not that I'd ever do that, of course, polishes Halo.
Right.
Adam says, I love watching it. My brain just gets a bit overwhelmed. Yeah. Once you get your head around it, especially if you're doing it through Roll20, because that does all the calculations and that for you, then it's actually pretty easy. And it's just a lot of fun. Especially if you do the role play inside of it as well. You actually role play the characters. It's a lot of fun. Joe says, last week I took out the Michael Whitman 116 figure that came with a T35. The Tiger 135. Had a good time painting the figure. Looks decent. Jeez, sneezing has really rattled my brain today. Ooh, it looks decent. Julie says, on the subject of Fred Astaire, is Ginger Rogers a name or description? Adam says, we have local comedian group who do it on stage at our local rep, and it's outstanding. What sort of play is that if they're doing it on stage? JT says, being an ambulance driver is scary because drivers are rude here. Some people don't always let first responders through in traffic. People forget that it could be them in that ambulance. Yeah. Unfortunately, people are like that. Yes. People are a-holes in general. Except for you tried people who follow this channel.
The quote I have from Tripod members, which are a comedy sort of band in Australia, is humans are wonderful, people are assholes.
Yes.
And I think he's right.
Oh, I forgot these bloody decals lift straight away. Whoops. Yikes. Right. Right. Get on the... Yesterday did well, by the way. We've got 29 likes on it.
I did see that, yeah. I did watch that show. I know somebody's on it.
Yeah. Must be that crazy Australian guy. Marches around in his underpants and a style helm. Evening Standard.
Evening.
Evening. Adam says, oh, they just do a D&D like Critical Role. Yeah. It's just funny. I don't find Critical Role overly funny, to be honest. In some ways, they overact it. I find.
Don't know that one.
Critical Role was one that sort of started the D&D podcast genre. Yeah. But I thought it's more like the American sort of humor and stuff.
Yeah, I think my kids have mentioned it the last couple of days, so maybe they listen to it.
Yeah. But the episodes are like 4 or 5 hours long as well, which is a bit too much for a podcast. Adam says, so they dress up and go all in. Ah, there you go. Matthew says, one pin vice found. Where are the other two? Found a double action airbrush I'd forgotten about. Suppose I'd better strip and clean it. Whoops. JT says, if I got an EMT, it would be cool if it were David Lee Roth. Heard he became an EMT. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know when I was in hospital when my appendix ruptured, I think it was like 2000 and I want to say 2012, possibly. Got married in 2015. Yeah, 2011, 2012. It was when Prince William was based at RAF Valley doing the search and rescue pilots. And the helicopter was coming in. I was talking to one of the nurses about it. And apparently, one of the things that was happening was, because she said, oh, it's probably that batty old woman again. Like, what do you mean? She said, well, she's obsessed with Prince William, so she deliberately goes up onto the hill and then calls mountain rescue out. Because she hopes, in the hope that Prince William will be the helicopter pilot that comes together. Like, oh, that's creepy. Apparently, she was doing it every weekend. You'd thought the police would turn around and go, if you call us again and it's not an emergency, we'll nick you.
Please stop, Camilla.
Megan, we know you're after a prince, but for goodness sake, he's married. Go for the other one. Oh, wait, you did. June says, a comic at a rugby club called to me once asking if I can get arrested for being drunk in charge of a wheelchair. I shouted back, only if I'm stupid enough to take it on the road.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Patrick says, he must mean Paul. Joe says, Mike says, crazy Aussie, and John throws Timmy under the bus. The Omnibus.
Not wrong. Yes.
I still reckon Timmy marches around the house in his underpants and a style helm. Just for giggles. Adam says, I don't personally like their comedy, but I think it's more the American style. Let's just say ours is a bit more Scottish. Yeah. Yeah. American comedy seems to be more overacting. If you watch a lot of their shows that they've tried to adapt from British shows like Dad's Army, The In-Betweeners, and stuff like that. Even, what's it called? Shameless.
Ghosts.
Yeah, Ghosts, Shameless. They try to do the same jokes, but they overact it, and it's just not funny.
Oh, yeah. And what's the other one called? Sketch show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Made a motto of that.
Yeah.
The Office. Just leave stuff alone.
Yeah. Get your own ideas.
Just watch the British ones and put on subtitles if you need to.
Yeah. Oh. Adam says, Jinx. Jim says, overacting. William Shatner, Jim Carrey come to mind for me. Yeah. The thing is with Jim Carrey, though, it's deliberate overacting because that's the characters he plays, the crazy sort of mad people.
Yeah.
Mad person.
What
Whereas
is the deal?
Yeah, whereas stuff like Critical Role, they're playing a character, but they are really, really overacted to the point where it's like an exaggerated form of that character. It's not. It doesn't come across as natural conversation and things like that. Whereas with Roll Britannia and Critical Role, it sounds more like the characters having normal conversations, not trying to act or show off or anything.
That's fair.
I think I get my point across. JT says, Julian, you're a good sport about the comedian calling you out like that. I would have been livid. Says a lot about you. Yeah. That's only because Julian knows he's getting his soul when he goes. Duke says, good day, Jim, Joe, Adam, and Julian. Jim says, good day, Duke. And he says, maybe the lady would happy with Prince Andrew as a consolation prize. Well, apparently she had him before Harry and William. She's on a yacht with him, wasn't she, before she met Harry? Allegedly. JT says, Jim, there's something on the wing. Tim says, good day all, the buses are looking great. Thank you, Tim. Crap. How goes the war, by the way, Tim? Oh, frig. 2 seconds, just trying to put this decal on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is just not working. Stick down, you son of...
Which decal are you doing? I haven't looked up.
One of the ones on the back. One of the ones on the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Hey, there we go. Hobby Time says, hi, guys. Hi, Hobby Time.
Hello.
JT says, Jim, Prince Albert in a can. That sounds painful.
Yeah.
Adam says, if they ever try to do an American still game, I'm recreating 1812. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm keen for that.
Yeah. Don't butcher what's already a good show. If you can't understand the Jockanese, just put the subtitles on. Jim says Carrie is as overrated as Adam Sandler. Enough people think they're funny, and when he's really not. Yeah,
I think he can be a bloody good actor as well. Like he played. I'm trying to remember the name of the film now, but he buys a cinema. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but no, he can be a very good dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Like a lot of scenes in oh, for God's sake, the one where he's Truman Show. I think he does a bloody good role in that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, the ad's done on the inside of the stairs. So I'll be able to get these on hopefully without making too much of a mozza. Oh no.
JT says, what happened to the Parmesan brick when I went over to the pasta? It became It became a part of something greater. There we go. Sorry. This bloody stuffy nose and everything just distracts me. I can't think straight when I read it. Hey, that looks good. Right. Unit standard. Oh, we've got 23 people watching. Ooh.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah. Do you have nothing better to do with your time? Oh, I wonder if it'll let me put those pictures up today. Because they're pretty cool. Should do. Why is it struggling with that file?
Has it got Epstein written on the front?
No. Funnily enough, no. Apparently it's because of the size limit. Oh, I know what it could be. It's because they're the high-res versions. Right, hang on a second. I know what I can do. Let's go for that one. There we go. Are you ready, John?
Just give me a sec. All right. Yep. Why not? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
How
cool.
cool is that?
Nice.
So that's on the merch. I think that'll look pretty cool printed off. And then there's a more sort of fun, child-friendly sort of one. There we go. I quite like the artwork on that one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he's reading the instructions for. Because they don't seem to match the model.
No.
Yeah, it's fun.
Really?
What's that?
Oh, I put this rail down, and now it's in 3 pieces.
You didn't pray to the gods of sprue then beforehand?
Clearly not. Just make sure I don't lose a bit.
Matthew says, watching buses and squirrels frolicking in the snow. Ooh, interesting.
Bit of super glue. Oh.
Weight Rose says, afternoon troops. Afternoon, Weight Rose.
G'day.
Duke says, good day, Gary. And Patrick says, hi, Gary. Bob says, just had a yellow snow warning from the Met Office YouTube channel. I thought everybody knew to not eat yellow snow. Yes.
Back in a moment.
Matthew says, awesome picks, Chat GPT. Kind of. I tell Chat GPT what I want, and then I tell it to create a prompt for Sora. And then I adjust it as I need to until I get a picture that I want. There we go. Gino says, hello, Mikey and John, and all in chat. Hello, Gino. JT said, "Did you guys hear about the window in a rundown part of town? It had no glass. People thought it was a real pain." Very good. Following Ghost says, "Morning. Good morning." Jim says, "Keep the friendly cartoon for the tornado and replace it with an F-35 for the dragon and the croc destroying the aircraft."
Huh.
Patrick says, "Hi, Graham and Ghost." Ghost says, "Hi, Seafire." And Joe says, "Morning. The rigging on my BC-50 Roman warship had to figure out what a hawser and marlin ropes were. I bet Timmy knows. Google."
Yeah, I do. So
Are
do you
you
want... No, the hawsers are the ones that are on the anchors. They go through when they raise the anchors. They go into the hawse holes at the front of the boat. So hawse holes. And the marlin spike, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Marlins is can we go back to the previous comment? It's a Roman warship. They didn't have a bowsprit, but marlin. Yeah, the marlin spike is at the bottom of the bowsprit. It's a bit that sticks down vertically, so you can have tensioning lines on it like that. It's a marlin spike, but the marlin lines would be at the nose of the ship. But those triremes didn't have bowsprits, so I'm not even sure.
They didn't have bowsprits, but they had like rams on the front, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Well, that might be the marlin. Not even sure. There's probably a rope there. All right. Duke says, "G'day, Robert." Following Gino and Matthew.
Yeah.
Following Ghosts. Jim says, "I asked ChatGPT to produce an image of Mr. H with a smile on his face. The reply was impossible." Yeah.
Yeah, it won't let you do certain things.
Yeah.
Unlike Grok, apparently. Because that's going really well for Elon at the minute.
Well, you know.
Matthew says, "Yeah, I did ChatGPT for a lot of my stuff. Created Warhammer figures for printing and a Mad Matt interceptor. Plus my Christmas elves working on my tanks. Nice." Yeah, I like using it. It's fun. Gino says, "Hi, Duke." Adam says, oh, frig. "Weirdly, I'll use ChatGPT for modeling, but more as a database than searching. I just shove sources and instructions into it, and I think it now works well." Yeah. That's the thing. It's learning how to use it, isn't it? Once you get your head around how it works, and it's not too bad. It's good fun. Ghost says, "Hi, Duke." Joe says, "Thanks, Paul. You are the best. I will subscribe to your maritime channel when it opens up." Ooh. Patrick says, "Hi, Bob."
Oh, for God's sake. No. It's gluing to everything except the bit I wanted to glue to.
Isn't that always the way?
Always the way.
Sons of bitches. Oh. Julian says, "I think I used ChatGPT to create a demon in a wheelchair, then post it on Discord." Yeah, I did that for you as well. I created a T-shirt for you and everything. Yeah. And call it King of the Heathens. JT says, if I started in with the jokes, I was hoping Julian would join in. And Bob says, hi ho all. Feeling fragile, so mostly lurking. Oh, I know the feeling, mate.
Mm-hmm.
But in the words of the late, great Freddie Mercury, the show must go on.
Well, yes.
Joe says, feel better, Bob. Just don't listen to JT's jokes.
Like you have a choice.
JT's laughing. He's laughing because he knows it's true. Right, so how many of them we've got? We've got 2 evening standards.
Evening.
Evening all.
Standard. Oh, there we go. Melt that bit.
There we go. Timmy has explained. JT says, Joe, are you saying my jokes are making Bob ill? Tim says, houses are the big thick boys designed for massive tensions, mooring and towing. Marlins, from what I know, is the thin twine you use to tidy the end of lines to prevent or arrest fraying. There you go. Adam says, shared the last message from the dumb bot in the tips channel. Joe says, ha 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 ha. There you go.
Okay.
Pears soap. I remember pears soap, I think.
You remember soap?
Yeah. Vaguely. Before everyone moved to shower gel and hand soap and things.
All right, let's try to get this bastard on. It was 3 pieces a moment ago. I can't see why I can't go for 4.
Yeah. Joe says, thanks, Timmy. You Aussies are awesome. I don't care what Mikey says. I haven't said anything.
It's because you're clogged up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Tim. Just because he marches around in his underpants with a Stell helm on in his living room. Obviously, he wouldn't do it in public. That'd just be stupid because he'd get sunburn on his todger. But
Yeah.
JT says, Dougie Hauser, a 14-year-old doctor, decided to be a sailor.
That'd be Doogie. But it's the accent I understand. Timmer. Def's more of a bosun's mate question. It's funny, I used to work with a guy called Bosun. Actually, is Boatswain. So it was his surname, but he would say Boatswain, which is sort of odd. JT says, you mentioned soap and think of the TV show with Billy Crystal. No, it didn't show here. So we don't. Yeah, no, never seen an episode of it. Although I think, from what I understand, it's the first time that gay people was mentioned on television with Billy Crystal's character, but never saw it. Tiff says, Doogie Howser, Neil Patrick Harris, who's in an episode on Hello High Rollers I'm listening to at the moment. He's a guest one-shot guy. Right.
Sorry, sneeze. I couldn't stop sneezing though. Stupid fucking allergies. Drew says, an untidy piece of string staggers to the bar. The bartender says, are you drunk? The string hiccups and says, no, I'm afraid not. I get my coat. You gotta wonder where Julian gets these jokes, haven't you? And JT.
Well, the first time I heard that one, it was on MTV in Australia back in the 80s. It was Jimmy Barnes said it. They'd have singers just tell, if they were the guests, tell us a joke at the end of the show. And that was his.
Yeah. Jim says, Julian, afraid of what? Julie says, sanity, Jim. Sounds too much like hard work. Duke says, soap was really late on one of the regional TV stations when I was very young. I could only watch it when mum and dad fell asleep watching TV. Ha ha ha. Sounds like Channel 5 over here in the early 2000s. Matthew says, 2 bags of crisps wandering the streets. A taxi driver says, do you want a lift? The crisp says, no thanks, we're walkers. Very good.
Oh, come on. That'll do. I'll let that glue there. I'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all.
Duke, that's how my Monty Python viewing career started. I'd tune in when parents were asleep on a Sunday night.
You thought I was sleeping.
Bob says, what became of Smith's crisps with a little bag of salt? Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Well, Smith's Crisps, what we have in Australia. The same branding as Lay's and Walker's. It depends what country you're in. Also, we don't call them Smith's Crisps. They do. Everyone just calls them Smith's Chips because they're chips, not crisps.
I remember they used to do promotions from time to time where you could open the packet and you'd have a £5 note in it, folded up in the packet.
Well, I wouldn't do that now.
No.
Food safety and all.
Well, yeah, that plus, the bag of crisps probably cost £5 anyway. Bob says, what became of... Oh, I've just read that one. Matthew says, Timmy should be doing a 40k Orcibus. And JT says, Pringles are crisps. Yes, they are. Right. Drew says, the Salt and Shake, I'm fairly sure they still do them. Yeah, I think they do. Tesco's and places like that. Drew says, oh, I just read that one. Stupid boy. Oh, no, that's not bad. Trying to sort of keep them in order so I know which ones I've got, which ones I've done. So then I end up with just like 5 evening standards and 2 pairs soaps or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to have an odd number of them anyway, is the way I see it.
Yeah.
Even though there's, only 2, 4, yes, 8 seats you can get to the back of to put on advertising. There's only 3 of each type of ad, from what I remember.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, 4. There's 4 evening standards. I got 4 evening standards, 2 pairs, and 2 Sanitas.
Yeah.
Sanitas, I should say. But,
yeah, Sanitas.
Is that a brand you recognise?
No, it's not.
Oh, no, you wouldn't do any cleaning, would you?
We have Dettol and stuff. No, that's Kaylee's job. I hope she's not watching.
Well, not anymore.
Gino says, have a nice rest off the stream, guys. I'll watch the rest of the stream tonight. I have to go for now. All right, buddy.
Righto. Okay. So 1 hour down already.
Yeah. Drew says, yeah, just check, Mikey. You're right. Tesco does them. Walker's now used to be Smith's. Probably a buyout. Probably. I always preferred Quavers or Skips and Doritos.
And so what you call Walls ice cream over there, we call Streets. Again, same logo. It's all multinational sort of conglomerations and whatnot.
Americans call it sidewalks. JT says, speaking of crisps, love a niche. Crispy brown crust with mashed potato goodness in the middle. New a good Jewish deli I used to order from. I also love Reuben.
Okay. Reuben's great, yeah. Really good.
Yeah. Joe says, I watch soap all the time. Pretty funny and rather different compared to the other shows. Probably why I have a strange sense of humour. Don't we all? John.
I have no sense of humour, not since, I think January last year.
Joe says, 25 watching, 18 likes. Yeah. Adam says, I work in Sainsbury's. Any retail questions, just ask. Trevor says, I hate decals. Must get into painting them. Have a cry cut machine to make the masks. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Do you reckon it would be cry cut or do you reckon it would be cricket? What do you think the manufacturer intended?
Well, it's spelled cry cut, isn't it?
Yes, but things will be spelt one way and pronounced another.
Yes.
Like E to Z line is, easy line, even though we don't say Z in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
But the manufacturer, being American, intended it to be EZ, not E to Z.
Yeah. I was watching a YouTube video on a similar sort of topic last night. And it was 2 guys at the Globe Theatre a couple of years ago. What they did is they did Romeo and Juliet and I think Hamlet. And they did in the modern English version, but they also did the original language version, so original pronunciation version.
Oh.
And when they did it in the original pronunciation version, it was a lot easier to get all the jokes and stuff in it because the words actually rhymed where they were supposed to and things like that. So it was a lot easier to understand. And apparently it changed the way the actors actually acted the parts as well because it was a lot faster. The speech was a lot faster and things. Ian says 19 likes and lurking. See, so Ian forgot again. Joe says, I thought Rubens did sculptures. Joe says, my favourite was Barney Miller, probably why I became a cop. Sanford and Son was good too. You big dummies, Fred favourite song. Yeah. Ooh, Modders has put the banner up. Yay. She must have got bored in the background. She's just pressing buttons to see what happens now.
Oh, I could see what happens. Just let me warm up.
JT says, then there was Paul Rubens. And Adam says, it's for cutting, not kitting.
Oh, okay.
JT says, Joe, did you like All in the Family? I used to like My Family. That was quite funny. Where Robert Lindsay plays the dad.
Robert Lindsay. He was one of the. Was he Captain Caillou and Hornblower?
He was. He's a very good comedy actor because he's got very dry sort of way of saying things. So he did well at playing sort of the dad that's sort of, he's really intelligent because he's a dentist, but, well, he's intelligent because he's a dentist, but he's also always getting into daft situations and sort of losing the will to live because because the way his family is and stuff. So like his son, he thinks his son's just completely thick as pig shit, and they think he's actually gone off on like backpacking adventure and stuff. And he keeps sending them videos like of him all dishevelled and covered in muck and things like that, and in the jungle, saying that, you know, I've been kidnapped. I need this amount of money. Can you make sure you send this money and stuff? So they send it him, and then they find out in like the final series, for the whole thing, he's just been sat in their loft, just scamming, basically scamming them for money. But he plays the dad Ben, and he's just like this really depressed dentist that's like sick to death of the way his family are behaving and things. They're not behaving in a bad way, they're just daft. Julie says Colmondley is pronounced Chumley.
Chumley, yeah.
Featherstone Huff as Fenshaw, etc. And they claim Welsh is hard to pronounce. Yeah.
It's because it is. Or it's phonetic, at least.
Yes. Joe says, yes, JT. Wife says it's the Hispanic Archie Bunker. JT says, laugh out loud, Joe. Tim says, Zed is dead in Australia. As we become more Americanized, it's been dropped more and more. In schools now, any correction of its pronunciation is dismissed with eye rolls.
Really? Unbelievable. I guess that's why I believe most teachers I've met don't have a clue.
Yes, and Tim's going to be one.
Oh no, he's going to save the world.
When he graduates, he's going to have his brain removed.
No, he's got some life experience, old mate, so he'll be okay.
It's a similar thing with politicians, isn't it? If they go in when they're young, they're very idealistic because they've got no life experience. So that makes them dangerous and more likely to just follow the leader. Julie says, all in the family, is that legal outside Redneck Central, that is? JT, Joe, I decided to stifle myself with my jokes, to quote Archie Bunker. Tiff says, Googled it. The company have said it's pronounced cricket after its themed branding. There you go.
What's that?
Joe says, ha 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 ha. JT, Julian, All in the Family was an American comedy show in the 70s that starred the late Rob Reiner. Archie was an old man who was prejudiced and got his due in the episode's show to place in Queens. Yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry. I tried to press mute before I did that.
You press it with your nose.
JT says Zed's deadline from Pulp Fiction. Joe says future Australian Prime Minister Tim Evans, aka the Big Head, Cabeza, aka the Bollard, that we all know and love, obviously. June says, I thought Welsh was the only language with diphthongs, 2 letters making one sound, but apparently Zulu does as well. Yeah. Duke says, I hate the new way of saying dates in Australia. No offense to our American friends, but it's the 1st of January, not January 1. Yeah. It's the first day of the first month of the 2026 year of our Lord.
Oh, you're not allowed to say our Lord anymore. You've got to, it's, it's ADE and BCE now instead of AD and BC.
I'm a Christian, so they have to respect my religion.
Well,
otherwise, it's discrimination.
You're right. No, I agree. Like, BCE doesn't come naturally to me. I have to, sort of think about it. So I'll just say BC. Thank you very much. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Common era. What do you mean common era?
Yeah. Before Christ and after dinner. That'll do.
Scratch this up a little bit.
Joe says, Duke, say it like you say it. It's your country. For now, damn it, no politics. Exactly.
For now.
Oh,
for now.
Yeah.
Can't be trusted anymore.
Yeah. Your leader might disappear in the night, John. Your prime minister. Paper.
I have a single political question to ask for our American listeners. I honestly don't know the answer to this. I wonder if they would. Can I ask a question?
You can, with due trepidation.
If Taiwan is invaded and taken over the same way that the US has done in Venezuela, would the US stand by and protect the interests of Taiwan or protect the interests of China? Because I honestly don't know anymore. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I think they'd
look after their mates in China, because what they've done is given them agency to do that. Oh, look, I'll shut up. That's my opinion. I cannot trust what the outcome will be, because what I've seen in the last week has shattered all, what would you say, normalcy.
Well, that's the point, in that it's moving from one world order to the next, and it's going from international rules-based system to nation-based system again.
No, but only 3 nations are doing that.
Yeah, so unfortunately, they're the 3 nations that control most of the world and have the most influence over the other nations.
So why don't we just trade amongst ourselves and leave them on the back porch?
Because you've also got people in other countries that don't want to do that, and they want to control their bit, but they're just not strong enough to do it. But it's something we can discuss afterwards, anyway. Before modders starts getting twitches.
I'm done. I honestly don't know anymore.
Yeah. Joe says, "Just kidding, all. Really, I am." Okay.
Oh.
JT says, "I wanted to be a teacher, and there was so much I disagreed with in our public school system. Easy to leave things broken than to fix them. Schools are like prisons and security checkpoints." Yeah. Julie says, "BCE before current epoch. BC equals before coffee. It's a daily era." JT says they dropped AD, Anno Domini. I thought it stood for after dinner. Adam says, "I asked this question."
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
It's a good question, but one for off stream, I fear.
Yep. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah. Who knows? Joe says, "Okay, John, that's exactly what I was thinking several days ago." JT, John, we are part of CETO and Taiwan is a member.
Yeah. But you're also talking about invading another NATO country.
Duke says, "Our leader has been missing ever since he was elected." Matthew says, "Depends which produces the most oil, John."
Yeah, not wrong.
Joe says, "Love the omnibuses, don't you, Julian?"
Okay. Let's see if I can mount this thing without getting glue everywhere. I don't know if I can.
Julian says, "True, Matthew." JT says, "Alliances dragged Germany into World War One." No, alliances dragged everyone else into war with Germany. Steve says, "No one knows anymore, I fear."
No, don't expect us to come and rescue your ass again.
Yeah. Julian says, "Is the plural omnibuses omnibi?"
Why not?
Ian says, "Squirrel."
Yep.
Tim says, "BC and AD. The only correct answer, the Catholic Church spent enormous amounts of time and treasure to unify the calendar. Any change is crappy revisionist BS."
That's true. I'm wondering who made the decision to drop all sort of religious
socialists
terms.
Because they love stuff in religion, which is weird. It's weird if you think about it, because technically they follow a religion. It's just a religion of socialism.
Oh, all right. That's the first one on. That worked.
June says, "It's the end of the world as we know it. Anyone else sing?" And I feel fine.
I feel fine. Yeah.
Let's just go down to the Winchester and sit, have a pint, and wait it out. That's what I say. Joe says, "Thank you, Ian." And Ian's singing. "It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine." Go for it says, "Hello." Hello, go for it.
Hello.
Go for it says, "Hi, Julian. Hi, Ian. And hi, all." Hello.
Okay. That one. It's the and no, I won't sing it. It's all right.
I was watching behind the scenes of Master and Commander last night.
It's in some ways more interesting than the film itself.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that Russell Crowe actually learned to play violin for the film whilst he was actually doing the film.
And the other guy did the cellos. What's his name? Buddy.
Paul
Marvel.
Something.
Yeah, the one married to
Paul Marek.
No. Paul Bettany.
That's it.
Yeah. I think the fact that like they re-rigged the ship to have left-hand lay and all that sort of stuff is just wonderful.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because they just went out and bought 27 miles of cordage and made their own rigging for it and everything, so that it all looked correct. Mad. Joe says, most difficult part of the rigging is converting millimeters to inches. That's what she said. On that note, right, I was watching a YouTube video the other night on not Imperial War Museum, the British History Museum.
Right.
And there's an old guy who's paid by the museum to recreate full-size historic furniture and antique furniture.
Yes.
To recreate it at 1/6 scale, so that they can put it on displays that they can take to shows with them and things. And one of the things he said made me giggle. He said, because he measures it all on a stick and then just marks it off on the stick and then measures it when he gets back to his workshop. And he said, what I have to do is, because they're antiques, you got to measure it in inches and then convert it to millimeters and then divide it by 6. And I thought, no, you bloody don't. Just measure it in millimeters and divide it by 6. Just because it's built in inches doesn't mean it won't measure in millimeters.
Wow. Well, no, it would have been imperial originally.
Well, yeah, it would have been imperial originally, but you can still measure it in millimeters, in metric.
Yes,
still the same size.
Yeah. I get what he's saying, though. I mean, let's face it, he's doing what I couldn't, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a really odd thing to say.
Millimeters.
Yeah.
So that's a weird thing. We went to Paris, walking around, say, Luxembourg Gardens and stuff like that. So not far from the Pantheon is I believe it's the science... Oh, I'll look up the terminology, but just south of the Luxembourg Gardens is where they came up with the metric system, and they have all the original things that they use, but it's not open to the public. You'd think that it's an opportunity to make some money, wouldn't you?
You think so? Yeah.
I think the French National Observatory, from memory.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh. Stick down, you sod. Julie says, be back a bit carer here.
Okay. Yeah, that one. The Paris Observatory. Just south of the Luxembourg Gardens, where Cosette fell in love with Marius from Les Mis, and here is the Pantheon, which if you've never heard of, it's a church that was going to be a Roman Catholic thing, and then the revolution happened and it became a museum to the people and to freedom and all that sort of stuff. And then the revolution fell and it became sort of half Catholic, half freedom, and all their most famous people are buried there. Like,
like a French version of Westminster Abbey.
It really is, and it's an incredible place. It's, funnily enough, seems to be off the tourist track, even though it's just directly south of Notre Dame. It's about 6 blocks away. And yeah, it's like, if you go to Paris, go to the Pantheon. Incredible.
Matthew says, the second primary school I worked in as a caretaker, the one classroom had a collage that the kids and the teacher had done of the North Pole with polar bears and penguins. I thought we're done for.
Yeah. It's funny. Polar bears and penguins. I've never actually met.
No. Except from in the zoo. Duke says, a Roman soldier walks into a bar and orders a Martinus. The bartender says, don't you mean a martini? The Roman soldier says, no, I only want one.
It's very good.
Well done, Duke. JT says, I was thinking of the assassination of Archduke Francis Ferdinand by a Serb. I believe Ferdinand was Austrian. Yeah, Ferdinand was Austrian, but that didn't mean Germany got dragged into a war with everyone else because of an alliance. The Germans and the Austrians sort of did it together. Anyway.
Well, they were just,
everyone else went, oh, we've got a pact with this country, so we've got to fight the Germans now.
Yeah. So, yeah, pacts between individual countries and stuff. Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yeah.
But now I'm sure the people who pulled the trigger that day had no idea of that. You know, it would actually lead to the biggest war that the world had ever known.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they
all
thought
the one student.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing. It was a near miss.
Well, that thing is, that day he actually decided to wear body armor, a bulletproof vest. But the problem is, the guy shot him in the head.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Even though bulletproof vests weren't really known about that, other than by rich people, and it wouldn't have looked like he was wearing one, so he wouldn't have known. He just happened to shoot him in the head instead. Next, Adam says he also learned to die for Gladiator. Dedicated actor, that one. Yeah, he is.
He is. I've met him once.
Yeah. JT says Kaiser Wilhelm II had a paralyzed left hand. Well, that's generations of inbreeding for you. Allegedly. Julian says World War I was partially the result of alliances, but also the Kaiser wanted a war and royally misjudged every other country's response. Yes, that's true.
Yes, looking at you, old mate.
Basically, he was spoiling for a fight, and he used the assassination of Ferdinand as an excuse, not realizing it would just mean the rest of the world will go, no, and take him to task on it. Ian says, I have the special edition of Master and Commander. I shall watch this too tonight. Thank you.
It is, it goes for about as long as a film, but it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. I watched it on YouTube last night. JT says, John is the pantheon where David is.
There's no straight lines. No, David isn't there. What? It's got Madame Curie is there, Voltaire, Hugo. There are a couple of famous people there.
Yeah. Joe says, JT, he was Austro-Hungarian. Empires treating Serbs badly. Germany egged on the Austrians, Russians supported by Serbs, and it all escalated as everyone mobilized because everyone else did. Yes. They knew, even in Britain, they knew that there was going to be a war from like the early 1900s. Even before 1910, they knew that there was going to be a war at some point, a major war.
Well,
because they were already preparing for it.
Yeah, but annexing other countries has that sort of effect.
Yeah. Which is why they came in with the standard rules for standardization and the government assistance for buying vehicles for companies, buying motor vehicles.
Oh,
because they were preparing for war. And they knew that they were going to need a lot of motor transport.
this is. Yeah, I had heard that putting the stairs together, they were fragile, but yeah, they are fragile. It's no surprise. The rest of the model is as well. So look, I've just peeled off all my nice paint. It's at the back of the sign, so you won't really know.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. Third time lucky. Turn the other way.
Julie says diplomacy took an extended holiday. Yeah. JT says, thanks, Julian and Mikey. Always room to learn. Yeah. Julie says, daft thing about Archduke Ferdinand's assassination was the driver was turning slowly as he'd taken a wrong turning. Ferdinand shouldn't have even been there. Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, because the guy who was going to aim the gun gave up and just went to a pub. And yeah, the car came to a stop outside the pub. And he just thought, oh, bugger, I might as well have another crack.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing.
Yeah. Unfortunate for a lot of people.
Well, millions, in fact.
Well, yeah.
History is just an incredible subject, isn't it?
It is. And I just wish people would stop bloody twisting it for their own political agendas. Or to suit their own worldview.
I resemble that comment.
JT says the Kaiser was thrown out of Germany after the war. Yeah.
What have we got? Half an hour? I think I might do a couple of Dirkles. No, let's do a couple more paper things on the back of these, and then that'll be the steps finish, and I could do
Trevor
the rest of the zhuzhing.
Mike put the photo etch on the stairs before firing them. Mate, I already have. I've already built all of it.
Oh, okay. You've gone the other way. Yeah, I followed the instructions, and yeah, like it's.
I used common sense.
Yeah, but you'll find that'll come to naught.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Putting a bit of varnish on the decals.
Varnish on the decals?
Yeah. Adam says, as someone with a history masters, I effing hate twisted narratives. Yes. As do I, buddy.
Oh, they're a great band. I had some bangers.
JT says, the people erase history outright instead of learning from it. Absolutely. It really bloody annoys me. And the thing is, the reason they do it is because they know that whilst history doesn't repeat itself, it certainly rhymes. And by learning history properly, then you can learn to spot when things are starting to go wrong with society and things. Because you start seeing the patterns and things like that.
It's true. Okay, instead of using a craft knife, I'm just going to cut these out with scissors now, because what I found is I used a craft knife before, but then I had to go back and trim them with scissors anyway, so I'll just cut out the middleman, literally.
Yeah. Not 1934, 1 minute, 1 hour 34. There we go. Oh my god, come on, brain. Right. JT says, we also judge the past harshly. I often feel we're being judged as harshly in a future classroom. The human condition has changed little. That's the truth. Yeah. A lot of people tend to judge history by modern standards, and you just can't do that.
No. But, I mean, honestly, if you look back at, say, 100 years ago and say, hey, we were great then, and how to do that again is unacceptable these days. No matter what country you're in, you just can't walk into other countries.
Yeah. But it's like a good example of that is stuff like in the Navy in the 1700s, you had different levels of floggings for different offences, with the most serious being flogging around the fleet and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And today, it'd be abhorrent to us to think that if you join the Royal Navy or the Australian Navy or whatever, if you mess up, they're going to tie you to the wall and bloody beat the crap out of you with a whip. But back then, it made sense and it was just accepted.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, you're right. And keel hauling, of course, is awful.
Yeah.
It's when they would throw you over the bow of the ship, and you'd go under the entire length of the ship and be pulled up at the other end.
Yes.
And it depends whether they wanted you to drown or not, as whether the ship would be sailing at the time.
Yeah.
And how often, I mean, people couldn't pull the rope without their sort of section commander telling them to. So, yeah, most of the time it was a death sentence.
Yeah.
And hanging people from yard arms and stuff like that. Yeah, it's sort of frowned upon these days.
Yeah, it's frowned upon. And obviously back then it wasn't. But they had to do something to dissuade people from breaking the rules because they would a lot of the Navy was press ganged. So, they didn't have, a lot of them, had poor education. Many of them probably weren't upstanding citizens and things like that. They're just people that they happened to find, so they kidnapped them and stuck them on the ship. So they had to make sure that everyone followed the rules, and everyone was frightened of breaking the rules.
Well, I mean, yeah, you had bugger all people in command, and they were like leaders of nations, scared of people rising up against them, so they'd do anything to keep it down.
Yeah.
Today's history lesson is brought to you by the Don't Dare Be a Dick Party.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about politics anymore.
Yeah. It doesn't do your mental health any good, John.
No, you're right, but, I honestly, no word of a lie, I don't believe I can trust anyone from the US anymore, and they used to be.
Yeah, Jim.
No, honestly, I was thinking earlier today, if we do, say, the Models for Heroes sort of fundraiser, I'm thinking about pulling out of that if I have to sort of talk to some hosts from over there.
Yeah, but you got to remember, people aren't nations, dude. You can have a nation that could be absolutely crappy, but perfectly good people living in it. It's just those in power messed it up for them, make them look bad.
Maybe, yeah. But if you're a modeler and you're sort of posting things on Facebook, like Stephen Miller said this, ha 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 ha, I'm just like, yeah, no, don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, see that I don't agree with. That's why I try and stay politically neutral on all my social media.
Adam Scale Modeling says, but also on the flip side, we can't use the excuse it was off of the time every time it pops up.
Very true.
Oh, cripes.
Here we go. Hopefully that'll stick. Oh, God, that bloody sidewall's come off again.
Sidewall. So I'm just bending these signs so I can stick them on. Bending up signs and into sticking them lines.
Actually, I'm tempted to just put some super glue on it. Adam says we should use history as a reflection, not a direction. Yep, totally agree. And I just wish the government would stop using 1984 as a bloody direction.
You mean Max Headroom, or you mean the novel?
I mean the novel. Adam says because we can't exactly go around invading everyone to create the British Empire. Why not?
Because we learned our lesson when the American citizens rose up against that sort of shit.
Who
So
did?
Australia was formed very differently.
That's stupid. Bloody. I'm getting clumsy. I think I'm having a fibro flare up soon because I've started getting really clumsy again the last few days.
Joe says, Mikey breaking out the village people in the Navy. What's next? YMCA? Disco.
Yeah. Disco.
In the Navy.
You can sail with Timmy in the Navy. With his Stahlhelm in the Navy. JT says, I was following orders. It's just as chilling. Those who said in defense of their behavior are unworthy of being called German.
I get it, but a lot of people did that to survive themselves. I mean, what people would do to make sure they get through the next 20 minutes can be, I think, startling. So I get it. I just, thankfully not had to live it.
See, that's an interesting one because there's actually primary sources that point out from junior soldiers and things like that point out that when they were put on onto these, or before they were put onto these sort of hit squad, death squads and things like that, they were actually paraded and they were told, if you do not wish to take part in this, all you have to do is step out of formation. No, you will not be persecuted, and nobody will be allowed to harm you or say anything about it towards you. What you'll be doing is you'll be put on other duties. And those that walked out were just put on stuff like kitchen duties and stuff for the rest of the squad, whilst the rest of the squad went off and did the horrible shit. So just following orders doesn't really hold water, and saying that they were just doing it for survival doesn't really hold water, because a lot of the time they were given the option. They were told, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. But a lot of them went along with it. And it's because there's a study done about it. And one of the things they looked into is how ordinary people could be convinced, like doctors, dentists, teachers, blacksmiths and things like that, could be convinced to go and do those sort of horrible things. And, is it possible that it could happen again? And what they found was, yeah, absolutely could, if people are given the right propaganda for long enough and things like that. Then ordinary people could just be made to go and do that stuff, or they would go and choose to go and do it if asked to.
Okay. Question for the audience. So the advertising at the front top of the bus here, I have three choices. And they tend to be doubled up on, let's see, on both sides, as you see there. Right, So the same thing twice, or there. So I've got maples. Here's the choices. Maple curtains, eat less bread, or Pears soap. What would people like to see? Because I honestly don't know. Green, yellow, or purple?
JT says, my grandfather was a German and a good man. He was human, but still a good man. Yeah. This is what that study found, that people who before the war, or men before the war, who were perfectly good people, family man and things like that, would never even dream of hurting anyone. Because of the way that they were indoctrinated and stuff, it made them able to do these things. And they would choose to do it because as far as they were concerned, it was their job. And they were just following their orders. Joe says, I agree, John. I left one stream because of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I just don't like. Yes, I know. This is why we don't talk about politics, and I do admit that I tend to, I do care about it. Is what it comes down to. I don't mean to bring anything down, but my God, you watch any news stream, and if you're not really worried about what's happened lately, then you watch other news sources.
That's why I tend to not watch a lot of the news. It's just too depressing. Adam says, we need Napoleon to deal with. We dodged a 200-year aimed bullet. Yes.
That's true. But, it's a damn shame they'll never, they'll never get to the 250th anniversary. On the steps, I'm going to have Horlicks malted milk for travellers.
There we go. Yeah. JT says, you do bring up a good point, John. He does that occasionally. Only occasionally, like.
Tim says, my gripe is when peeps look at history and they think they'd have a Schindler. They would have been a Schindler and not one of the guards. It's a major red flag.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never know what we're doing until we're in that situation ourselves.
No, exactly right. But there's also, like, most people you come across, say if you're in the military or whatever, you've got to think of people who are non-combatants.
Yes.
Like the people that are just trying to eke out a living by living on a farm, and they don't like people fighting around them about things that they're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
So my dad's half brother, Bernard, was in the Malayan emergency, and he told us when he came.
Was his brother called Matthew?
No.
It could have gone around saying that they were Bernard Matthews.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Bernard Matthews, they make fish products and things, like fish fingers and things.
Anyway, there was a firefight in rice paddies in Malaya, and he took, he was looking for movement, as you do with his rifle and all that sort of stuff. There was movement, and he just, took 3 shots, and he said this guy's head turned into a pink mist, and he was horrified to find that he was the farmer just trying to get out of there. And he said it affected him the rest of his life, and like he was getting upset when he was telling us about it. And we were like 10, 11 or so. So what he was saying was, war is hell, and a decision you make today can affect you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So it is a real thing.
Absolutely. Adam says, one of my favourite stories, which needs a movie, was the time the German army helped the Allied fight the SS. Yes. Next. Adam says, now that's a story. Yeah. I don't want another Evening Standard.
There we go.
That one, maybe.
I'll tell you what, I'm quite happy with this. Have we had any votes about what people would like to see as advertising? Less bread, Maples curtains, or pear soap? Or I can mix it up. I quite like these another suffragist leader arrested sort of billboards. I'm thinking about having a couple of them. So maybe I can have one on one side, big pear soap on the other, and one near the back.
Tim says you should always remember you are capable of every evil ever perpetrated and comport yourself accordingly. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the most dangerous people in history have all been ideologues and they've all thought that they were doing it to make a better world.
Mm. Yeah. Well,
They have. That's what they thought they were doing. They thought they were making the world better. But what they were doing is
disagree.
actually making it worse.
I disagree. So the latest thing in the last couple of days, he's not doing it to make the world a better place. He's doing it to dig, baby, dig. You know, it's got nothing to do with despots or anything at all. We know that. Everyone knows that.
I wasn't talking about that though.
Okay. Yeah, but he's not making the world a better place. He's literally making more money that he can't take with him in a couple of years.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's not whether we think they're doing the right thing and making the world a better place. It's they think they're making the world a better place. So we all know Mr. H was a complete asshole and should never have existed. It'd be better. The world would be better if he never existed. But he was doing what he did because he thought that's how he thought that's what he needed to do to make the world a better place.
That's right. And for a number of years, like, yeah, he did make Germany great again. But there's a point where you just go, that's enough, pig. That'll do. And just sort of settle and be happy with what you got. Because if you keep going, everyone's just going to go, yeah, we've had enough of this.
Well, exactly. And it's the same thing. Just because we don't like what someone's doing doesn't mean they're not doing it because they think it's the right thing to do.
Well, no, honestly, I think there's this one guy now. Like, I'd like to see Maduro and old mate, Mr. T, wearing orange jumpsuits together. Not sharing a cell, but, wearing orange jumpsuits would be nice.
Anyway, Tim says, I don't read that one. Arville says, eat less bread.
Eat less bread. Okay, done.
JT says, I hate to be a pessimist, but we are well on our way. My grandfather loved being in America. Yeah. Joe says, choice, eat less bread. Too many carbs.
Okay, that's true. I'll do eat less bread. I'll put the suffragist leader arrested on one side.
Yeah.
Because it's topical and political. Yes. And eat less bread on the other because it's, It's funny because, so Paul's partner, Marianne, is lactose intolerant. So jokingly, he calls her a lactard, right?
Okay.
Now, we were talking the other day, I think 2 days ago, whatever, and he said, I've already sent you a vegan, the vegan model that he wants me to build and all that sort of stuff like that. And I said, well, would you send me a vegan? Like, you can send me Marianne, but isn't the lactard bad enough? He thought that was funny.
Very good.
What have we got? 7 minutes.
Yeah. Duke says soap.
Soap.
Adam says, exactly, Timmy. Good people do bad, even if they don't realize it's bad. Yeah, exactly. Kaylee says, dreading this. Oh, dear. Oh, Kaylee's taken up modeling. She's building a 1/144th Saturn V rocket.
Get out of town. You're talking about the FX one?
No, the Revel one.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoy that, Kelly.
She's decided she's not going to paint it as the Saturn V. She's going to paint it in, the Color Shift Space Dust colors from Vallejo.
No.
They do a set that's like Color Shift paints, but it's based on like cosmic colors and stuff.
Okay.
So she's going to do that and do like different colored patterns on it and things.
Great.
Yeah, should look cool.
Yeah.
And then instead of having USA down the side of it, she's going to have KAY or something.
KKK.
No. Yeah. JT says history is what people see and what they felt at the time. Exactly. History is a single person's or a group of literature from individuals describing the events as they understand them at the time. And then making a judgment about what's most likely based on the information from all the different people together. We can never actually know what happened because we weren't there.
No. We're going to eat less bread, people. Eat less.
Yes.
This will be the last thing I'll do on this stream today.
Yeah. JT says, absolutely, Tim. He also says, I want to say that my thoughts on survival were just touched upon by John. What happens affects the rest of your life. It does.
Yeah, it really does.
As veterans, we can definitely vouch for that one. Aaronville says, Bernard Matthews in Norfolk, UK, also deal with turkeys and ham. Yeah. They're food brand, basically.
Bernard Matthews.
Yes. Bernard. We're going all posh now, are we, John?
No, did you say Bernard or Bernard?
Bernard.
Oh, there you go. I wasn't listening. I was listening with one ear.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just different pronunciation of the same word, but they're both correct. So, JT says, John, you need dewars or dowers?
Dewars? Scotch? Is there dewars? There is a dewars whiskey. Too late because I've got Dubonnet on one side.
Yeah,
Dubonnet. So apparently,
Duke says Mikey's talking about Stalin Mao. Yeah, Stalin Mao, Potts, Guevara, Mr. H, all those crazy people. Mussolini. They all thought that they were doing what was needed to make the world a better place. Unfortunately, they were very mistaken. Dutch Dave says, wasn't there a famous movie called The Wave on this exact topic of ordinary people capable of terrible things? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I've always said to be a functional soldier, you have to be a dysfunctional person. Dave says, good afternoon all, by the way. Hello, Dave. Joe says, great parents I had. Treat people with respect. My dad, World War II veteran after the war, in a bus from Dallas to Houston, heard men yelling racist remarks to several black people coming back from war. He couldn't understand it. Yeah, it's part of what started the civil rights movement, or sort of was the catalyst for the civil rights movement, is the way the the American black GIs were treated in the UK, because they were treated just as equals, and the British people wouldn't enforce segregation and stuff. They're just treated as like anyone else. They went back to America. Well, why are we still putting up with this crap?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Not everyone thinks like this. Why are these people doing it?
There we go. So I'm going to stop there. Let's see. I'll move my camera a bit. There we go. All right. So I managed to get the stairs on. The advertising on them.
Yeah.
So that's all working. And a couple of signs on the front. I've gone for eat less bread and another suffragist leader arrested. So next week I'll glue my people in place. Finish off a couple of rails. Lights and bells and whistles and stuff like that. But yeah, looking close to finish now. So hooray!
Yeah. Ooh. So what have I done? Oh yeah, I've started putting my seats in areas with fella sat at the top. Got some more to put in there, and I put them two. It's not really in focus, but the policeman and the driver sat in the front, and I put the decals on the benches. So we've got some comments before we go. Joe, just served your country, but being yelled at for being black. He couldn't understand why, just bad people. Yeah. Dave says, Napoleon said something like, history is a lie agreed upon. Yeah, exactly. David says, not said much, being spraying my Airfix 148 Bolton Paul Defiant Night Fighter. Been listening, though. Cool.
Nice.
Anvil says, great, eat less bread.
That was fun.
Mikey, a better place for them, not for everyone else. Yeah, exactly. Julie says, Napoleon said, history is a version of events we have decided to agree on. Not that I can find when he said that. Yeah. Julie says, Mikey, I think they wanted to make their countries better, often at the expense of others in the world. Yeah. Joe says, love the way it looks, John. I really need to get one.
He's obviously talking about the beard.
JT says, exactly, Julian. Jim says, the chat certainly was quite lively today. Yeah, it's been interesting.
Well, thank you for tolerating my slight delve in. My surface cut into it because I am affected by what is going on. I am disturbed, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not, then you should be, because this is the end of everything we've known since World War II.
Yeah. Araville says, really good models, they're ICM. These aren't ICM, these are MiniArt, mate.
Yeah.
Jim says, my compliments to both of you guys. The buses look very good. Bravo. Thank you, buddy.
42 hours so far. 42 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JT says, thanks, guys. Plus time in between as well when we've done little bits.
Little bits and bobs.
Julie says, indeed they do, Jim. Yeah, thank you. We've got, Araville says, MiniArt.
MiniArt.
Yes. That's why there's a million pieces when one will do.
It does look great. I'm just looking at it now. I mean, let's just hold it up. I mean, I've got to admit, it's a great looking thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tomorrow afternoon, 12 till 2, you've got Models for Heroes Live 12 till 1, haven't you, John?
I should. If Steph's having internet issues, so there may or may not be, but there should be.
Okay. Well, either way, 12 till 2 tomorrow, we've got the Corporal's mess.
Right.
So if you want to join in, you can do. I'll put the link in the stream link group.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're
a corporal on the Olitix pay tomorrow.
Yes. If you have a corporal level membership to the channel, thank you. Thank you for keeping renewing, even though I'm not sure why you do, but thank you. And do join us tomorrow, 12 till 2. If other than that, we'll be back Thursday, 12 till 2, with a new tornado build.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until then, hulvar for now, everyone.
Hooroo.
I think we got away with it, John.
Oh!